Konnichiwa, Minisan.
Hello and welcome to Famicast 291, your Famicast for the latter part of April 2025. I'm your host, Danny Bivens, and I'm joined today by James Charlton.
Hey, what's up, guys? Doing it live, as always.
Hell yeah. And hey, we're also joined by Ty Sugar, too.
Wow, who'd have thought? Who likes boxes?
Yeah, geez. It's a lot of boxes back there. I'm assuming they're not new arrivals from UFO catchers, or are they?
A few might be. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're actually sponsored by the Minecraft movie, so
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Ty.
Get ready to start throwing your popcorn and sodas and barfing all over the floor. That's what you do when you watch movies nowadays, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, got another exciting show for you guys today. Got some cool games to talk about, new business, pretty relevant ones, I think. Some things that we couldn't talk about on the last episode because of obviously Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. We're all kind of pretty excited about that, and looking forward to hopefully getting our hands on one soon.
And we're doing this one day before the Direct, so there will be no talk of Mario Kart World Direct.
Thank you for that, James. Yeah, I've slipped my mind. Yeah, Mario Kart Direct is in like a little under 24 hours, a little over 24 hours from right now. So we're not going to be talking about
these guys. Fucking suck. They didn't even talk about the Direct. Fucking hell, these guys dislike.
Yeah. Right.
I just got back from the future,
yes.
and we'll report on Mario Kart.
Thank you.
It sucks.
Okay, good.
We're under embargo anyway, right, Danny?
There we go. Yes. All right. Well, just to catch up with the chat, looks like Rich is in the chat. He says, hi.
Who?
So, hi.
It's a new guy. Wow.
Right. All right, cool. Well, let's just go ahead and get things kicked off with new business. And actually, Ty, would you mind kicking things off for us today?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go. I've been playing randomly DK94.
Nice.
Donkey Kong, as it's just plainly titled, but it's not the OG Donkey. Not even close. It's like Donkey Kong if it had like 100 levels and like all the moves from Super Mario 64.
Right.
So this game is brilliant. Straight up, it's so fucking good. All right. Where to start even? Okay.
Because I know, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. I think the first thing that comes to mind for me when I play this game is how many extremely good moves Mario has. Like he's like extremely versatile in this game, and all his moves are like unlocked from the start. Like you don't have to go through any unlock bullshit.
Nice.
It's great. They're just like kind of hidden from you until you accidentally do it, or you see it on like the little transitional clips between the worlds.
Okay.
Like it kind of shows you the moves as you play.
Gotcha.
It's almost like Metal Gear Solid 2, thinking that you're going to play the whole game as Snake, but psych, it's actually Raiden.
Right.
Oh, you think it's going to be just like the shitty old Donkey Kong?
Yeah, the very first level, it's just like straight up Donkey Kong, and like Mario moves the same way. He has the same jump. He makes the same goofy little walking sound.
Yeah.
Oh, what you don't know is you can like backflip up the level in 3 seconds.
Nice.
So like coming back to the game, like that. You see that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has that. He like the backstep jump. He has like a handstand somersault triple jump thing.
What
else does he have? He can juggle his hammer. What else? You throw enemies around. He can get on the high wire and like spin like a maniac. It's all quite good.
Yeah, it's like, last year I talked about the Mario versus Donkey Kong on the Switch, the GBA remake, which is kind of like a, essentially a follow-up to it, and then became like that Mario versus DK series. I mean, obviously this is the first game in that, I guess you can say, sub-series of games. And
yeah,
even just thinking about that, which is more fresh in my mind, it's like all of the same moves that you literally just said and that we're watching in the video footage here. Same type of stuff. Yeah, handstands to block incoming barrels too is like a method of defense, which is pretty cool. Yeah, just a lot more versatile. It's really awesome.
Yeah, but there's an important difference between this game and those.
Sure.
Games suck.
Yeah,
this game is fast.
No, I don't disagree. I don't think I'd go as far as say they suck, but I haven't played all of them, so I couldn't tell you.
I would. This game will spoil you for them.
Sure.
Even if it's 4 colors, or you can plug it into your Super Game Boy and play it in like 12 colors or whatever.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if you're playing it on Switch, Nintendo Switch Online, you could do the Game Boy Color color scheme, and it won't be. I mean, it'll be more colors, but it won't be. I don't think exactly the same as a Super Game Boy. Or I'm trying to.
How did you play it, Ty? Did you turn the Game Boy Color mode on, or
no?
Oh, you just did. Oh, you should.
I've been just raw dogging it. 4 colors.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real. I didn't know how to turn on the Game Boy Color.
just in the settings, man. like whenever you boot it up, if you go to the far left side of the screen, it'll bring up like some settings for the overall games. And you can kind of
is the blurring like original Game Boy blur? Is that on by default? I forget.
No, it's crisp as hell. Looks just like this clip we're watching.
Yeah, well, this one that we're actually watching is from the 3DS Virtual Console. Push my glasses up on my nose for a second.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean that was one of the first virtual console games on the 3DS, I believe, or one of the early ones too. I picked it up back in 2011. That was my first ever experience with it too. So
yeah, I bought this game when it came out along with the Super Game Boy.
Oh, cool.
I believe they launched together, right?
Man, I'm pretty sure. I mean, obviously Donkey Kong 1994.
Yeah, it was like the flagship game for it.
Sure.
Yeah, and I also remember that summer very vividly because that was the summer I dislocated my elbow.
God, what were you doing?
Skateboarding.
Like man,
kid.
Radical.
Yeah, I was a rad kid.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was in a cast for most of the summer.
Oh boy.
But it didn't slow down my gaming.
Yeah.
Nice. You can still play this.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Basically has the moveset of Mario 64, like 10 years before Mario 64.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
well, 2 years, but yeah.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Year and a half maybe. No, about 2 years. But it's kind of great. Like I didn't even think about it until like just recently when I was playing like how much of Super Mario 64's genes are in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Testing out the moves before the big boy game.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
well, Ty, I'm sorry you haven't played the real game until you've turned the blurring on and you've sat 2 meters away from your TV, so you can't see anything in the dark.
I mean, I did play this on an OG Game Boy.
Yeah.
Blurry piece of shit, not even backlit. Yeah. But another thing I want to say about this game is, this is a very late Game Boy game, right? Before it went to like Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Or was the Game Boy Color already
Game Boy Color was 98. But I mean, I know what you mean, because it seemed like there were like 2 phases with the Game Boy. There's pre-Pokemon and then post-Pokemon.
Yeah. And like when you look at this game, like the level of detail they have with just 4 colors is really fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And like you'll notice like when you're on like the world map, it's it's just kind of segmented into like 4 levels and a DK fight. But like you'll see like cool like stuff on the map, like there'll be like some mountain peaks in the background, and then they actually integrate like the same peaks into like the background of the level as you play.
Oh, cool.
It's like
nice.
It's easy to miss, but there's kind of some really like consistent I don't want to say world building, but maybe geography is the word I'm looking for as you pursue DK through these bullshit jungle, fucking haunted Egypt. a giant airplane. I think I haven't gotten that far yet, but it's great, and the music in this game is so catchy. I love it. So yeah,
Nice.
if you want to play a good game, play DK94.
Available now.
Yeah.
As part of your standard NSO subscription.
Available for 30
$25
fucking
$25
years.
$25 a year.
Jesus.
If you play on Switch, but yeah, or that.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you still have the cart lying around, Ty?
I think I do, actually. I don't know where my bag of Game Boy games is, but I think it's in there.
Noise.
Oh yeah. What else about this game? You can lose a lot of lives really fast in this game.
I get it.
If you fuck around, but it gives you a lot of extra lives.
Okay.
Yeah. So
do you find that the time limit is restrictive or in any way, or is it pretty breezy?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, if I remember, like the later levels, they get pretty harsh. But I have somehow stocked 99 lives really quickly by World 4.
Sure. Yeah.
Like you can get a ton of extra lives. All right, in every level there's the hat, the purse, and the umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
If you pick up all three of those, you get like a mini game. Like it'll be like a slot machine or like a stopper or something. And you can get a bunch of extra lives.
Okay.
You like 1 or 2 or 3 usually. So it's pretty good. And like on a lot of the harder levels, they just give you a 1-up.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice. But anyway, if you're cracked like on the slot machine, you can get I got 9 lives once on a slot machine pull. Like there's one option, it's like a question mark number of lives. I think it's just a random like single digit integer of lives.
Okay.
Yeah, and like you can actually like win all the mini games, so it's really good timing.
Wow.
Okay.
So yeah, if you know how to hit your 1-frame moves in fighting games, you get some extra lives.
Or in crane games. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this game is sick.
Ty, as you were browsing the Game Boy library on the Switch, did you spot anything that piqued your interest? That will be your next game.
No.
Okay. I got a whole bunch of stuff on there now.
I mean, I looked at Mario's P-Cross, which is a game that I like, but I have Hatsune Miku P-Cross on Xbox, so I'm good.
Yeah, the weird thing about that game is too, it's like, yeah, there's a Game Boy version. There's also the Super Famicom version, which they released on Nintendo Switch Online, even in the English-speaking territories, because it's not much to do for translation. Like Chris, Balls, listens to the show. He played the hell out of the Super Nintendo version, I think, in like maybe like 50 or 60 hours or something. He said something crazy.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's just a nice little portable sit down, do a puzzle thing.
Yeah, sometimes I don't have the brain power for that type of stuff, man. Again, I'm not so much of a puzzle game guy myself.
A lot of Donkey Kong games on the Game Boy now, isn't it? all the Donkey Kong lands are on there.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
I mean, looking back now, it's like they were breadcrumbing us, weren't they? It's like, have all the Donkey Kong games.
We have to build brand awareness.
Well, they did do that in December, especially when Donkey Kong Land or the Super Donkey Kong Country was opening up at Universal Studios. They literally put all those Game Boy ones out, Donkey Kong Land games and stuff like that. And then they put this out too, which I'm really happy that they did. So that's really cool.
They should bring back that goof ass motion capture TV show.
They should.
Oh, God.
Oh man, it's
God,
so bad.
Jesus, no.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Next Nintendo Switch Online tier or something. Who knows?
Oh, looks like Balls is already on the Game Boy Picross train.
Nice. Yeah.
Sick.
Currently going through the Game Boy Picross. Nice. Cool.
It's a good game.
Awesome.
Available now.
Cool.
Right. I think that wraps it up for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there for Star Wars baseball?
If you like Star Wars, here we go. No. So obviously, I'm going to go next with new business, but obviously the last two episodes, there's one game I really wanted to talk about. 2 episodes ago, I couldn't because it was literally coming out the day after we recorded. In the last episode, we talked about Switch 2. So there's that.
Excuses.
I know. I just can't. Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. But the game that I wanted to talk about today is Xenoblade Chronicles X or Cross Definitive Edition, which is out now on the Switch. And I've been playing a lot of that game. So up to this point, it's about actually coming up to about a month since the game's release on the 20th of March, and I put in over 50 hours into this game.
Damn.
And,
yeah,
I was on.
You put in like, what was it, like 80, 90, 100?
I checked at it. I checked it the other day. 82,
82
with the Wii U version of it.
Wow.
And yeah, it's crazy to think this Wii U version came out 10 years ago, like 10 years ago this month.
Wow.
Yeah, but for those of you unfamiliar, or maybe you don't remember, just need a refresher. So Xenoblade Chronicles X, RPG, basically some aliens come and really screw up Earth. You're running away, and then you find yourself on this planet called Mira, and you're basically kind of like fighting for survival and looking for ways to help humanity survive. I won't go any further than, with the story than that, because there's a lot of like really kind of cool sci-fi type of twists and turns with the story, but I won't spoil any of that stuff, type of stuff for you guys. But big beefy game. Monolith Soft is the developer behind it. I think it's kind of interesting too, because after this, they went on to help Nintendo with Breath of the Wild, on top of also probably simultaneously making Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Switch, which came out like in the first year, which I thought was pretty freaking crazy.
Did you play that one, Danny? The Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
No, I've only played the original Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii and 3DS. And yeah, I haven't played 2 or 3.
Ooh, I like it, Danny. Foreshadowing what comes later in the episode. I love it.
Yes.
Threading in the breadcrumbs. Yeah.
Yes. Am I?
Xenoblade Chronicles. Yes. We'll talk about that later, maybe.
Yes. Okay. Or now. Anyways, so I mean, combat here is actually, it's pretty easy to get the hang of. Your guys are always like automatically attacking, but you have some type of attacks that you can choose to kind of, that packs a little bit more firepower, but you're kind of limited how often you can use them. They have like a cooldown gauge and stuff like that. They have different effects and stuff that happens to the enemies. You can like knock them down. You have like, elemental effects and stuff like that too. So it's kind of like about just playing your cards right with that, trying just to mow them down as efficiently as you possibly can. My usual way of playing RPGs is just overpowering the enemy by just trying to be ridiculously over leveled and stuff. And that's what I kind of try to do with this game as well. James and Ty, you guys might kind of remember this, but this is the game that, even though it does feature, mechs, it infamously does not let you get into a mech until you're probably about halfway through the game. And, it sounds like that's a bunch of horse crap, right? But after just kind of going back into the game, for the past like 50 hours, and I have my mech, by the way, but nice. I think one thing that it does, it makes you, go everywhere on foot. And it's a pretty huge world, what they have on offer. I don't know how it compares to something like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or something like that, but it's pretty massive, and there are all sorts of nooks and crannies that you can get into, caves and stuff like that, kind of hidden and tucked away into different areas. Pretty diverse like ecosystems and stuff like that. I mean, you have just kind of like the grasslandy type of area, you have a forest, you have kind of like this dead decaying area, you have a lava place, you have a desert, a couple of things like that. But by going around on foot, like I said, I think by the time you get the mech, I think you could appreciate it more. And it makes the world just seem, when you're on foot, it makes the world seem a lot bigger too. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. The mech does make it so you are significantly more powerful too. Some enemies won't even bother looking at you if you're walking around in the mech, whereas if you're walking around on foot, they'll attack on sight. So you got stuff like that.
Nice. Well, it is a trope in other RPGs, right? Like you get a flying thing or whatever, and then suddenly you can go wherever you want on the world map.
Exactly.
One of the 3 RPGs that I've ever played in my life is Secret of Mana, and you get the dragon that you can fly around with that, right? But that's only after playing the game for like whatever 30 hours.
Sure.
Yeah,
Same deal. And because you time. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Like so many RPGs, you get the airship or whatever,
Right.
at the midway point. It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah. But your mech can get fucked up, and then you have to pay money to repair it, right, Danny? So it's not like the first mech is like really good. Like you still got a long way to go, right?
Yeah. So like you have and the mechs in this game are called skells. In the Japanese version, they're called dolls. I'm actually playing in English this game for the first time ever because I was playing on a Japanese Wii U back in the day, so I never got to experience English localization of the game with voice or text. Yeah, literally region lock. A future that some of us might be living in. Okay.
Don't go there. Not yet.
God. Yeah. So like, yeah. So it's been nice just being able to play this game in English, kind of like with everything else on the Switch this generation and stuff. So that's been really
localization feels good.
Yeah, it feels pretty good, pretty natural. I did start off playing with the Japanese voices. Then I turned them off because one of the characters is just really annoying because they another thing in the battles too, the characters actually talk, and it's actually directing you to do specific kind of moves. And if you do it, you can get a boost for your team. Sometimes a health boost. They can get what's called like a TP boost. TP is like a
team power,
something ability or some AP. I forgot what it's called. But anyways, like basically you can get extra benefits for helping people within certain time.
Oh, like affinity bonus, was it?
Yeah.
Affinity? Yeah, I've heard that on RFN talking about it.
Yeah.
So if you best buds, then good things happen.
Yeah, exactly. So you build up. Yeah, there's being an RPG too. Yeah, man, there's affinity things that you could do on the battlefield, off the battlefield, through conversations, all sorts of stuff like that. And this game, the Switch version also has some extra content that wasn't in the Wii U version. Like there's some extra mechs that you can have access to. There's some extra characters, some story element type of things too. I haven't got there, and honestly, like since it's been 10 years, I really don't remember. And I was playing it in Japanese too, so it's like, man, like even if I was playing in English, I don't think I would have remembered everything either. To spend so long.
Apparently there were some cliffhanger endings. I don't know if you got that from the Japanese version back in the day. Did you think, wait, that's not an ending?
Yeah, I think I remember. I think I wrote in my review on Nintendo World Report, I said like this game is open for being continued somehow or something like that. I think I remember writing something like that, or it's just deep within me. I kind of remember that,
and it was like almost like they were going to do it in some kind of DLC or something, but they just didn't. And it's like now they can finally do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what happened because I think there was some DLC for Japan that the West just got for free included with the game.
Right.
There's quite a long, well, not as long as usual, but there was it came out here on April 28th, 2015, right as Golden Week started up, and didn't come out in the West and English-speaking territories till December. So it was quite not, like I said, not quite as extreme as what it would have been like, GameCube era or something like that, but still pretty lengthy delay there.
Cool. So you think you're going to finish it again?
Yeah, I'm planning on it. I'm just kind of making my way through. I'm well over halfway through the game, and
Can you give Rich some pointers? He said he put dozens of hours into the game, but he gave up after he finally got the mech and couldn't figure out the combat.
Really? I thought the combat's almost the same. Like honestly, they're as long as you equip weapons onto your mech, you can actually have some good moves and stuff like that. You can find a ton of weapons just out in the wild by beating up guys, and a lot of people drop things. So, doing missions and stuff like that helps as well. I mean, there is a overarching story, and I like it, but I think more story beats and other things like that come through missions like affinity quests, other missions that you can pick up from NPCs and stuff like that. And then you can obviously get loot and stuff too. I got a lot of stuff for my Skell just from just randomly going around tearing people up. So yeah.
You got some numbers flying off the enemies there. No, Ty likes that.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I love numbers.
Lots of numbers. Lots of numbers
What do they
there.
mean?
That's for sure. Nobody knows. I did see some pretty like awesome clips on social media where somebody was, because one of the new scales flies like an airplane, and then he was basically flying through the sky, and then he jumped out of his jet mode, came up to this big dinosaur, cut its head off, and then continued to fight it. It was like, whoa.
That's so metal.
Yeah, because it's kind of cool because like with the enemies, a lot of them have different parts that you can focus on. Like if they're animals with tails or necks or other things, appendages, you can cut off some of those.
Like Monster Hunter styley.
Kind of, yeah. And even like robots, you can cut off like their weapons, and then it'll decrease what they can do to you too, which is kind of cool. So yeah, if you're looking for like a really deep RPG, this is a good one to get. If you're not planning on getting a Switch 2 anytime soon, I think this is something, just seriously, I mean, something that'll keep you busy for a long
that was
time.
probably, there's probably some thought into the timing with that, isn't it? Like, well, we don't have any RPGs lined up for Switch 2 for like a good long while. Yeah. Let's just go full all out on the Switch 1.
Yeah, even just saying, just like, hey, just in case people don't feel the need to upgrade, let's actually give them a little bit of payoff here. Swan song.
Oh, actually, yeah, that makes sense. There was a rumor, like before this game came out, like somebody'd, or maybe just after it came out, like somebody'd, look through the code. They data dumped it and they found like a 60 frames per second mode or something like that. And they're like, well, how does that work? You can't turn 60 frames on in the game.
Yeah.
Or can you?
Yeah. So look forward to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition coming out soon after.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus, and we'll touch on that a little bit more. There's some other things I want to say about that. Maybe some assumptions that we made in the last episode, or maybe we've all kind of. And we'll get to.
I'm never wrong, Danny. Get used to it.
Okay. But anyways, Xenoblade Chronicles X, great game. I'm enjoying my second playthrough and hoping to get all the way through.
Available now.
And JC, you said nothing really.
No, I literally haven't played a video game in several weeks at this point. just doing other real life activities. Yes, I've been watching a lot of game videos. It feels like I've been engrossed in video game stuff, but I just actually haven't played an game myself. All the Switch 2 videos and analysis and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Maybe what you need is a waifu gacha game, just like just something really deranged you can play around the clock.
It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, sounds like a
for somebody.
It's got me written all over that.
Yes, it does.
Right then. So I'm looking forward to what's playing on the Famicast.com. Can you tell me that?
I can. Let's go ahead and move on to a little bit of now playing at Famicast.com. That's right. Now playing at Famicast.com. Lots of stuff going up on the website. Stuff coming up for you patrons. And a couple of things coming up on YouTube as well. I'm just going to highlight some of those for you guys right now. So I mentioned this to patrons last week, I think. But our game night for spring 2025 is coming up next month in May. Kind of thinking about some dates. Probably going to make a post about that. Maybe early next week. Maybe this weekend or something like that. So be thinking about times that you're free. I mean, obviously, there's a limit to our flexibility and stuff like that. So please understand. But hopefully, we can get a lot of you guys in and play some cool games and stuff like that. It'll be pre-Switch 2.
Yeah, the last Switch 1 game night. After that, we're only playing Switch 2, right?
Yeah, it depends on. We'll talk about this too in a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I'm looking forward to another game night. It's always fun. So join us if you can. Something that we're working on currently right now and looking to record next week. So a Patreon exclusive podcast where we sit down and talk about the once amazing, not so much anymore because it's dead, E3. It's called E3 Historia. The last episode we did was the inaugural episode. It was me and Ty talking about E3 2000, Ty's first E3, first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That I was at, that anybody knows.
Okay. Even yourself. But this next one's going to be a follow-up to that, E3 Historia 2001. We're going to get into all of that. I mean, that's the year the GameCube came out. There's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff like infamous video game nerd stuff behind the scenes too.
Oh shit, yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm going to tell some stories.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to just Ty's stories. I mean, I've just been kind of like combing through just the web, Nintendo World Report and some old IGN articles and other places too. I remember it vividly. I wasn't there, obviously, but I remember just reading the coverage about it and stuff like that. It was awesome. Looking forward to chatting with Ty.
That sounds amazing, Danny. I would pay upwards of $10 for that episode. Is that how much it costs?
Whoa. Hold on there, partner. Let me just tell you something. You don't even have to even pay that much. For as little as $3 a month.
What?
You could have access. You could have access to this and our ever-growing library of Patreon exclusive podcasts.
Holy shit. I'd be stupid not to do that.
That's right. No, but
seriously,
if
$3?
$3.
Wow.
Yes.
Anyways.
Yes. Anyway, yeah. If you feel that you want to support us, there are some perks to it. So please consider that if you will. There is a new retro review that I just finished up last night. That's already available to the patrons, and it's coming later this week. And yeah, man, it was fun. And
gosh, that's wrong. Anyone else?
I don't know if you guys.
Nice.
Yeah,
YouTube version there, nice. Like it.
Yeah, this is for Jeopardy 64. Infamous for a lot of bad reasons, but I took a serious look at this game, in-depth review of it. It was fun to do. Check it out later this week on YouTube. If you're a patron, you can check it out right now. Anyways, all this and more.
What is the Famicast Patreon?
Sorry, wrong. Anyone else?
Perfect.
All this and more. Famicast.com.
Got that digitized technology.
All right.
You're quite good at turning me on.
You should probably ignore that.
Yeah. Okay. What do you boys tell me what's coming up next? Actually, I can't see the agenda. That's right. That's what it is. Wow. Okay.
Good luck to the Google algorithm there.
Oh man, Google is getting worse and worse at translate. Okay, there. It's awful. Look. Okay. Anyways, this is the time of the show we talked about the latest and greatest comings and goings of Japan, Nintendo, and all of everything else in between. Got some pretty interesting little bits of news from the last episode up until now. So I thought we'd go over as much of this as we possibly can. So the first bit that has been kind of making everybody freak out online, I can understand to an extent, was a comment from Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser. He's been catching flack all over the internet for a comment that he made during this media roundtable Q&A thing. And also, we had a question from Chariot Goblin just about this. And I'll go ahead and read this too. This is kind of like tying feedback in with the news here. So I appreciate that. And if you guys ever have any things that you want to ask about, talk about, or whatever, just let us know. Chariot Goblin says, I feel like the marketing for Switch 2 has become chaotic. Doug Bowser even told people to buy a Switch 1 if they can't afford a Switch 2. Feels very reminiscent of the PS3 and Xbox One. What do you think? Just to clarify one thing too, what exactly what Doug Bowser said. He said this. Then after that, he said, we recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available so people can still have the opportunity to come into our gaming universe, be a part of these characters in these worlds and see value, if you will, in whatever rung of the platform they come in.
What does that even mean? Also, he's reducing the prices for all the Switch 1 models?
Yes, exactly. So,
like,
I mean,
we are not discontinuing them? Like, what does that even mean?
Basically, it's like you don't have to buy a Switch too. It depends.
Yeah,
I mean,
PR speak for tough shit. Deal with it.
kind of. I mean,
Get a second job.
didn't say that. But yeah, that was another can of worms from.
Right. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Right, Ty?
Yep, deal with it.
I mean,
I didn't even hear about this one. Slash
Oh,
don't
really?
even care about this. There's my old nemesis came into the fray, so that's all I've been focusing on.
Okay. I mean, obviously, people are a little upset about the price point for the system and stuff like that. I mean,
It sucks. Everything's more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wait till you see what the scalpers charge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
According to the internet, a box of eggs costs $4,000 in America, apparently. Something like that.
Actually,
The
according
fuck
to
is
the
an
internet,
egg?
according to the internet too, if you eat a small pebble a day, it's good for you.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Ask a geologist.
Yes, I'm glad we're all on the same page here.
Bloody stoners.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like I get people are like mad about increasing prices and stuff like that, but they're saying like, hey, let's rebel. Let's like not buy any of their stuff. Yeah, let's do it. I'm like, I kind of want to play Nintendo games, so like I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm reminded of a famous screenshot of a Steam group, boycott COD, whichever one it was.
Mhm.
And then you look at like the members and they're all fucking playing it.
Right.
Yeah.
1,500 game hours in this game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, FOMO is a powerful thing. That's why I have a Virtual Boy and a Wii U.
That's a nice pairing, actually, Ty. Yeah, the two failed Nintendo systems.
Yep.
Yeah, even though Danny just spent 30 minutes talking about a game that started on one of those consoles.
Yeah.
But anyway, so enough with the new president, CEO of America. Let's talk about the previous one.
Well, I mean, to kind of tie in this with a little bit here, some people were saying like, well, if Reggie were president of Nintendo, this would not be happening. Absolutely not. Reggie had put his foot down, it'd be over.
You call everybody Meanie San and prevent any games from coming out.
Yes, problem solved. Games won't be expensive because there won't be any games. Boom.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Well, what Danny, when I said that's foreshadowing, you talking about Xenoblade. It's the fact you talked about Xenoblade Chronicles, on the Wii. And the Wii era, that was Wii, PS3, and 360, right? That generation.
Mm-hmm.
And in that generation, the PS3 and 360, well, definitely not the 360, didn't really have many good RPGs. I think there was like one on Xbox 360, like Lost Odyssey or something like that. Or it's like
JRPGs or RPGs.
Yeah. It was like a 7 out of 10. It was okay.
And then Blue Dragon came out.
Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey are the biggest ones.
Yeah.
And then even PS3. I mean, Sony, like PS1, PS2 era, they were just like the RPG, gods, right? Like that's where you went to play RPGs, right? Nintendo, get fucked.
True.
Like absolute rip. Quest 64. Anyone? And then
I follow a meme Twitter account dedicated to shit posting.
Right.
I do too.
Yeah, you know the one. Yeah,
of course.
Exactly. So then when this generation came around, like the PlayStation kind of dropped the ball. I mean, like I think it wasn't entirely their fault. Like Final Fantasy 13 turned out to be pretty garbo. Like no one liked it, and it was like they tried to do 13.2, 13.3, whatever. Everything just got delayed. It was just like it was a total mess. There weren't that many like huge RPGs that everyone thought was like 10 out of 10, godlike RPGs. But ironically, there was one on the Wii. Like Wii actually, well, not only thanks to the Virtual Console, allowing you to play the Super Nintendo games and all that kind of good stuff, but like Xenoblade in Japan comes out, and the other one, Last Story,
yeah.
And there's like people in Japan were getting their hands on this game, and like importers were playing it, and they're like, holy fucking shit, these games are like, I can't believe this is running on the Wii, like the most least powered console out there. It's like it's barely two GameCubes duct taped together, And Xenoblade is like this open world RPG. There is nothing even remotely equivalent on the PlayStation 3 and definitely not Xbox, you know, RPGs, you can't really help them with that. But anyway, and then Mr. Potato Head himself looks at that and says, nah, we're good. It's like, what? It's like, dude, this, they're like handing you on the platter here. It's like, we could be like, you know, the RPG king in this generation. Like, it has the potential. And Reggie goes, nah, I can't really see that happening in the West.
I'd say, as a counterpoint, just about, Wii being an RPG like machine, like, of course, Virtual Console, yeah, they got all that stuff. What are some other RPGs on the Wii, like JRPGs that you could think of off the top of your head? I can't think of too many.
So, well, in that generation, it was also the DS, right?
I was gonna say it'd be the DS more than
the
Wii.
DS. Yeah, so like DS and Wii, I see those as like a combo, right? So you had Dragon Quests.
Okay, well,
9, 10,
yeah,
wait, 9, right? The DS one.
Yeah.
That was doing gangbusters. So like Nintendo, what really was kind of bringing up, you know, from the rear, from like being absolute zero JRPGs, complete garbo. Nintendo is not connected to RPGs anymore. To hey, they're coming back here. So it really, really pissed a lot of people off, like what Reggie said. And
Sure.
like,
I think
Operation Rainfall started, and it's like they had those 3 games. There's that third game, which I always forget. The one is not really an RPG.
Action, Pandora's Tower.
Pandora's Tower, yeah, that's the one.
But I'd say before you even get to that, I think there's a good reason as to why there weren't more RPGs on like PlayStation 3 and 360 versus like DS. And
well, yeah, it was the transition to HD, right?
Yeah, exactly. And even that's why a lot of companies still stuck with like 3DS too. It's like, hey, cool, we can still make standard definition games. You know, and it's just and still make gangbusters. Monster Hunter, Capcom did that there, and they got the
we
money.
don't need those, you know, 10 terabyte textures on the Wii. We can just do, you know, 640 by 480 and we're done.
Ty, you look annoyed.
Huh?
So yeah, and then
you look annoyed, like you're like, oh, you guys know what you're talking about.
No, I was just thinking something else entirely.
Okay.
And then good old Satoru Shibata in Nintendo of Europe said, well, they were kind of buddy back then, weren't they? NOE and NCL, they were like, you know, maybe because both had, you know, Japanese CEOs or whatever. And it's like, well, we could localize it for Europe. And that's why Xenoblade Chronicles has an entirely British voice cast, because it was localized by Nintendo of Europe. And
that's kind of cool.
I talked about how it was dark days in Europe for Nintendo up until the Wii. like 64 was like, it was dark. Like it was really, really bad. Like games were delayed, looked shit, ran slower, were twice as expensive. It was horrible, right? But the Wii was where they came back, you know, thanks to Satoru Shibata, right? You know, it's like, oh yeah, we're back. You know, we're getting games like on time, sometimes before America, and then this happens. It's like, dude, we're getting the game. America's not even getting it.
Yeah.
So like Americans are importing European Wii games, and James Jones on RFN actually did that. That's how he played Xenoblade Chronicles in English. You know, I don't know if he modded it or
he had to do some kind of soft mod to it or something. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, that was just like one of the many boneheaded things that Reggie did in his tenure. But it always just reminds me, it's like when he pokes his head out and starts like, you know, dictating like what people should or should not be doing. It's like, dude, stay in your fucking lane, shut the fuck up and retire already. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like, yeah.
I think, you know, in the Discord, Russ brought up a good point of something about Reggie, and I'm not going to read this verbatim probably, but he says, you know, in regards to Shibata, because James had mentioned like, you know, Shibata, obviously he had a lot to do with, you know, Xenoblade getting localized outside of Japan. And so I think, and then I tend to agree with this part too, what Russ says. He says that, you know, I think Shibata probably had a lot more leeway with doing some kind of stuff like this. NCL, and then he says NCL may have incorrectly asked Reggie's opinion on what games may or may be more successful than others in the US, but NCL would have had the final decision. I think you yourself have been kind of addressing this at James. Maybe some people that want to just boost up Reggie more than what he is, but he said, I think some people have been fooled by Reggie's persona. He wanted everyone to think he was in charge of those things. As I said earlier, you're giving him too much credit. The Mother 3 situation is a good example. He was being hounded by that for so long. I reckon he did want to get it localized and look like a hero, but NCL just said no.
Yeah, I mean, remember he wrote a whole book about how great he is and what an amazing CEO he was. And in his book, I think he mentions about how he got Wii Sports as part of the pack-in.
Yeah.
I think maybe that was the first time that was ever revealed in his book or whatever. So, you can't have it both ways. You can't say he has absolutely no influence, yet influenced, giving a game away for free. It's like,
Well, I mean, we got to think about this too, because one thing to keep in mind, and I'm just saying this, hopefully you two know this, I think you do, but like NCL, NOA, NOE, they're not on the same level. NCL, Nintendo of Japan, which does not exist, it's called NCL, Nintendo Corporation Limited. They are in charge of everything. There's there's no something like, hey, buddy, it's like you got to answer to Nintendo here in Kyoto. And like I think Nintendo would be absolutely stupid if they put Reggie in charge and didn't listen to anything he said about the American market, because the reason why you have a president of a division like that is to have some kind of insight, or at least he could build up a team where people would have insight into that. And I think
NCL will listen to him and then say, well, we'll think about it. Thanks for your input. We'll think about it. Thank you.
Some things way out of what NOE, NOA, any of those guys can do. If you say, hey, you should make a new piece of hardware, they'll be like, yeah, that sounds cool. Okay, not going to do that. But, with Reggie, and I think specifically with Xenoblade came out on the Wii in Japan in 2010. It didn't come out in Europe until 2011 or 2012. And then it didn't come out in America until after that. So like part of it, I could kind of see where Reggie might look at the market and say, he says, hey, I know we have a new console coming out. Is anybody going to want to play a standard definition game? Now people were, the hardcore fans were like, fucking Wii sucks. We want new hardware, So it's like, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for the guy in that sense. I mean, whatever.
And now we're on Xenoblade 3 plus X, 4 games later, there's probably going to be more.
Well, I think the appetite for some of these type of games changed a lot of like Japanese developed stuff. Because I think in the time, maybe you could even comment on this too, but like in PS3 360 era, I think there's a lot more hunger for Western developed like RPGs and stuff like that. Because it seemed like Japan was falling behind with in a lot of just ways.
Yeah,
right.
Japan,
like like Western RPGs really took off in that era. What with
Fallout,
Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and like some other random stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, because the Japanese like publishers were just not. They couldn't adapt to the HD as quickly as the Westerns. It's like we've always been like. I'm just generalizing the entire West here, but like super nerdy tech bros who like to like push graphics, right? And Japan is more like, aesthetics and story and characters,
Unless you're Kojima or something, but he does a little bit of both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he did some, what was it? Snake Eater on PS3. That was PS2.
Yeah.
PS3 was like Metal Gear Solid 4, wasn't it? Yeah. Jesus Christ, that took him like 5 years and to do that, didn't it? Yeah. That was a good example.
I don't know.
Cutscenes, brilliant.
Like, anyways, I know that James absolutely hates Reggie. Like all this.
I just don't like him taking credit for anything. It's like, dude, no.
Well, maybe for the pack-in thing, it's like, okay. I mean, Japan wasn't gonna fucking do that. They'd say, why would we want to give you our game for free?
Yeah, that was the one good thing he did, and he's still riding on that.
Second good thing, not bringing Xenoblade to North America. Oh wait, he did. No, he eventually did. But
do you remember Skylanders?
Yeah.
Like he made a kind of because that was like it was Ubisoft. I forget who made that one. was a Western publisher anyway,
Right.
and like obviously he was kind of taking the lead of getting that on Wii and also getting a Bowser amiibo or something like that. I don't know. Those are the two things that I associate with Reggie: a fucking Bowser amiibo that works with Skylanders, and
Brilliant.
the Wii Sports pack-in. That's it.
Do you love it? Yeah.
I mean, I to be honest, Americans should be complaining more. I mean, so many things they didn't get, like the 3DS faceplates for the smaller model, like loads of special edition 3DSs that not loads, but like several 3DS special editions that they didn't get. And I get it. There's probably people screaming, it's like, well, America's a big country, we can't. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, Europe's a big fucking continent with 27 languages. Get used to it, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
that's the end of the episode 291.
Yep.
Tune in
Bye.
Tune in next week.
So yeah, like I said, I wanted this to make sure we talked about this, so James could at least complain about Reggie a little bit
as a treat.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad that you could do
Well,
that.
I didn't have new business, isn't it? That's my new business is a rant.
Exactly.
Right.
So, Danny, how am I going to pre-order this Switch 2 then?
So actually, good point, James. The next thing I wanted to bring up here too, yeah, pre-orders for the Switch 2. I know some of you guys out there have been doing it. I remember James Allen was sounding off in the Discord about how he was, it's a real mess. Like he's over in the UK getting it. Lemonade, he got his pre-order the day of down in Australia. Good for him. Right. It's a smaller territory. I don't, but he got it like the opening day or whatever. He's set. So good for him.
But that was with a third party, right? Like EB Games or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's set. Me and James Allen have been trying to get it directly through Nintendo. Obviously, we talked about it in the last episode, and you guys probably know this too, but if the Switch here is going to be region locked, if you just go to any retail store and try to buy Switch 2, I hope you like Japanese, because that's what you're going to be playing in. It's just like the Wii U and 3DS days, those type of things. Of course, again, we mentioned this on the last episode, there is a multi-language console that is only available through the My Nintendo online store. And pre-orders went, not pre-orders, excuse me, lottery opened up on April 4th for these, and it just ended today, April 16th. And they already opened up a second round of lottery, but we won't know the results for the first lottery until April 24th. And I have just some, I just have some footage of me just kind of give you, if you're watching the audio version of the show, to see, so you can see what the lottery is like. Because basically you go to the Nintendo's store online, and it basically you have to kind of like quote unquote purchase this system. You have to throw it in your cart and then check out. It checks like your address and stuff. Actually, God, do I have any of my address on here or something? I hope not. I don't think I go past like this opening screen, but anyways, like, yeah, and then you have to do that. And also one kind of interesting thing it noted here as well, because for the, there are 2 SKUs in Japan that give you like you can get this just the system, or you can get the Mario Kart bundle. For the multi-language version, there is no special package that has a digital version of Mario Kart World, but it says, like in this description, it's like, hey, if you buy a digital version of Mario Kart World, you will get it for basically 50% off or something, the equivalent of that. So you get a really heavy discount if you purchase that at the same time, if you win the lottery. So James, you also entered into the lottery too, right?
Yeah, it let me buy my free pre-order thing, and then I get put in the lottery. And they'll said, yeah, we'll tell you later when you definitely won't get it because I didn't put enough hours into my Japanese account.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Well, do we know for sure that I definitely will not get in?
I will say this.
Because of the profile.
Yeah, if somehow if you would get a console and like people like me wouldn't, that would also mean that scalpers can get them as well. If you think about it too, because the restrictions on this are you have to have a Japanese account. That's the only thing. You have to have that. You have to be an active Nintendo Switch Online subscriber for 1 year or more total cumulative.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to have played 50 hours on that profile. So
well, all of them, I check all of them, but the third one is just an asterisk. It's just not
Right.
on that same profile. So like a scalper wouldn't have any gameplay. It would have 0, and it wouldn't be a subscriber, right? So yeah, I'm different from a scalper.
But I think it's stupid too, James, because you obviously buy some Japanese games, I mean, digitally and stuff like that from the Japanese eShop. So it's like, I don't see how they couldn't implement something like that. Because obviously, if you're buying games from the Japanese eShop, you're probably playing them. Why would you buy a digital game just to have parked on your system? I mean, you know what I mean? So
like Tears of the Kingdom, did that come out? What was that, last year?
2023.
Okay.
So
not
2 years
last year then. But I bought games last year,
Yeah.
And yeah, that should count.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I mean, yeah. So anyways, basically my theory is that, yeah, they'll just let anybody go in and quote purchase it on my Nintendo, but the real check is coming now because they give it a week. It just ended today, but it's going to be like a week later until they notify winners. So they have some kind of process. Maybe it's somebody literally going through like let's print out all of the people that entered here and pull them out randomly at a time. Poor Takeshi, it's overworked. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. If any of you guys out there have any horror stories with the lotteries or anything like that, let us know. It'd be interesting to know.
I wonder how long is it going to take for somebody to crack the firmware and make those Japan region ones multi-language?
True, but then again, too, if you think about this, yes, that is going to happen. Absolutely.
Okay.
It seems like a pain in the ass. Like, who are the people that like buy these things? They'll probably eventually upgrade it on accident or something by accident. Excuse me. Sorry, it's my Midwest upbringing. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? Because it's not like a hardware thing. It's just all software.
It's got to be.
So, yeah.
Right?
Probably.
That's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not like the GameCube where I had to solder a fucking switch onto the back of my console. Right?
I did that. Good times.
Yeah. James did. I have James. It's just over.
Yeah, right.
Right.
The graveyard of GameCubes.
It's just my game. Hey, they all work except for yours.
I think mine works. It's just very noisy.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
What's next?
Yeah. Well, moving on. Again, there were a lot of different things that kind of came out since the last episode of the show, since after the Switch 2 Direct and stuff like that, and specifically about accessory compatibility when it comes to controllers. James, do you want to kind of, you can just check out the agenda and just talk about that?
The NES and Joy-Con, NES and Famicom Joy-Cons, those retro controllers, they can be used wirelessly, but obviously they can't be charged because it has the rail. It doesn't have a magnet.
Right.
The first dock is not going to be compatible with the Switch 2, obviously, because the Switch 2 runs in 4K. But we don't know about the other way around, do we? Like, what happens if you put a Switch 1 in a Switch 2 dock? Does it just display?
Switch explodes.
Not compatible with Switch 2.
Erases all your save files.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If it fits, does it just display in just normal Switch 1 mode? Or I'm not asking it to upscale it or anything, but just you know what I mean? But we don't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all signs point to probably not.
Yeah, you say Switch 2 into a Switch 1 dock?
No, other way around.
Other way around. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. There's I don't think it specifically said that.
Old city Switch in a brand new Switch 2 dock with all the upscaling and cooling features and all that good stuff. Will it work or not? Well, we won't be able to know until it comes out.
Yeah. Well, they might have something tucked away on their website, because like I said, this is just one part of it that was specifically talking about Nintendo Switch 2 accessories and stuff.
Good news about your GCN adapter, Ty.
Oh, yeah?
You can use that in TV mode, connected to the USB port. So yeah,
neat.
Your GameCube controllers Smash parties can continue.
Sick.
Good news. So this thing, I didn't know about this, Danny. You cannot exit sleep mode on Switch 2 using the home button on a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con, Retro or Pro Controller. So you have to connect them wirelessly or by connecting them to the Switch 2 dock via USB cable. Interesting.
For the wording that they said, these can be used by connecting it wirelessly or charged by connecting them to the Switch 2 dock. They didn't say you can connect it and play, which seems like that should be a thing, but they specifically didn't say that, which is weird.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the buttons are obviously different. Like the Switch 1 Pro doesn't have the C button.
Yeah, but that's
and all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, weird.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of stupid that they'd say the home button wouldn't even work, or, for waking it up.
Turn on the Switch 2 with the Switch 2 controller, then you can connect it via Bluetooth or whatever later.
Joy-Cons, I guess you could take them out and do that, I suppose, but it depends on your setup. Mine's tucked away inside of a TV stand with doors, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to get the Joy-Con off. So
right then, and we also finally have pricing on accessories, which we didn't know last time. Well, we knew the American prices, but we were speculating on Japanese prices.
And I don't even think there were prices for everything yet. This is but right now we have prices on pretty much everything here.
Well, we knew the Pro controller was going to be $9,900. We knew that.
Yeah,
$80 in America.
Right.
But Jesus Christ, Joy-Con 2 set, $90.
Yeah.
I forgot how much the 9,990 yen. Same as a Pro controller.
Yeah.
Do you want a Pro controller or two little Joy-Cons?
But then But then the Joy-Con are more expensive in USD, which is 90 versus.
I forgot
80.
Was the Switch 1 2 Joy-Con set, were they 80? I think they were 80.
I know in yen it was about like 7,500 or something like that. So probably about like 60 or 70 bucks. I'm not sure US dollars.
I just remember people were complaining about that a lot.
They weren't cheap.
80. Yeah.
The Pro controller for the Switch isn't cheap.
Yeah. Joy-Con 2 wheel set of 2. Wow. 2,480 yen, bargain for 2 pieces of empty plastic.
Right.
Or $20. And the camera, okay, so I guessed it was going to be like 7,000. It's actually just under 6,000. Okay, fair enough. 5,980 yen or $50. And the dock set, this one we didn't know last time. The dock set. So dock set means what? Just the AC adapter in the dock?
You get the Switch 2, the AC adapter, I think maybe an HDMI cable.
Okay. You don't get the Switch 2, not for
no, God no.
$100.
I mean,
that's what you
ridiculous.
said.
Okay,
so 14,980. I think the Switch 1 docks were just under 10,000, weren't they?
Right around that.
Yeah, so it's a bit more expensive.
Yeah.
$109. And and then various carry cases and stuff. GameCube. The GameCube controller. I care about that. The GameCube controller is 7,980 yen.
Yeah, I saw some. I saw some prices in euro.
I think it's $80, isn't it?
Is it? Okay, I wasn't seeing anything on Nintendo of America's website. I must not have been looking in the right places.
Yeah, I think Greg on RFN said he pre-ordered his for like £80. I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah. A wireless GameCube controller. Who'd have thunk it?
Wow.
Right. Love my Wavebird back in the day. Great controller. I mean, kind of missed the rumble with it, but it's still cool to have that. Sitting in a big American style living room, we don't have to worry about tripping over cables or something like that. So,
right.
Or putting in how many batteries? Was it 2 batteries? Two AA batteries?
Just 2. Pretty sure.
2, right? Yeah. Same as the Rumble Pack. Oh no, that was AAA.
Yeah,
right.
AAA. So yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, so I know this stuff's really adding up. I know that camera too, James. Like that's a 1080p camera, but apparently like Hori is making like this piranha plant version of the camera that's like only goes up to like 480p. It's like
right.
People are giving it shit. It's like, well, first of all, I kind of agree with this. How do you make a camera that's like that quality in 2025? It seems like it'd be more expensive to do something like that.
That one does go in the top of the Switch too, right? It's like kind of a small one.
It can, but it's like in like a mouth of a piranha. You can close it, you can open it, and you could, I guess, move that part and clip to the system.
Yeah.
So I think, whatever.
So obviously, like we said earlier in the episode, we are mere hours away from the Nintendo Mario Kart World Direct. So we haven't seen that yet. But just to update from the previous episode, I incorrectly predicted that all of those extraneous characters were not going to be playable. I thought they were going to be just like side characters. Like, nope, they're all playable. The cow, crab, whatever. They are all playable on the player select screen. But the one thing that I was right about is that they don't get costumes. So they are kind of like tertiary characters. Like the main, the Mario characters, Mario, Luigi, Peach, all those people, they get, 10 costumes each. But Cow doesn't get a cowboy costume. Sorry. Cow is just Cow.
Yeah.
Dang.
And people have unearthed about 50 characters.
Damn.
But I think that includes the costume variations. I'm not really sure.
Okay, I hate that. I hate that stuff. That's so cheap. But okay.
And how you unlock characters is what we know so far. I mean, obviously this will all be explained tomorrow. But
right.
The Magic Koopa Kamek character, he turns the other players into random characters. So like, you get the Kamek item, you use it, it'll fly ahead and turn someone into a Goomba. And then somebody noticed like a Goomba with a little red exclamation point shows up on your screen. Like you unlocked the Goomba character. So that's one way of unlocking characters. It's not the only way. And there was another thing that was also kind of random character. I forget. But there seems to be like, multiple ways to unlock these characters anyway. Okay. And the food, one extra thing that we learned about the food is that it's actually based on the stage. So it's not always a hamburger. Sorry, Ty.
Dang it.
That's
we've seen different things like, like milk and, sushi or whatever, like various, different ones, like, because Peach has her kimono, which is from Mario Odyssey. So there is obviously like a Japanese themed area, which in Mario Odyssey, that was Bowser's world.
Right.
So yeah, we know about that. But yeah, all of the single player content and the story mode content, we don't know. And that's probably all going to be revealed tomorrow. So,
sure.
People. Well, it looks like it's going to be like a pretty hefty thing, probably like a mission based thing. And you go around the world and run across the question, not a block, but question marks on the ground, and that activates something, or P switch or something like that. But yeah, there are definitely pick upable items, collectibles in the world. Yeah, like Peach coins and regular coins seem to be like the currency. So obviously, you're going to be buying stuff, probably costumes and other stuff. Yeah,
sure. Yeah, honestly, I've been more interested in hearing about like the third party stuff. Like I read something about how Cyberpunk, some people that have got hands on with it have said like, man, this is running pretty rough. Kind of similar to kind of like how the PS4 and like Xbox One version of that game came out.
No, I don't think it's that bad. No, it's fucking broken.
That's what they said. But at the same time too, I think what they said, like that is a build that took them 7 weeks to build or something too. So
it was a 7-week-old build. Yeah,
7-week-old build that they built in 7 weeks.
So like it had been built before that, but like the one that they was playing at the event was 7 weeks old. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I saw the those guys who specialize in analyzing frame rates and all that.
Digital Foundry.
Digital Foundry. Yeah, they got their hands on it, and those are the only guys that I care about when it comes to technical opinions, and they were. They were quite impressed by it.
Sure.
Just the fact that it's running on a, portable system. Like if you were to run that on a Steam Deck or something like that, you'd get 35 minutes of battery, and it wouldn't run as well. So it's like, it's amazing what they've got already. And it's not a finished build. So yeah.
I'm also, I mean, they said something with that, like, dynamic resolution on handheld mode and stuff like that, similar to what we see now with a lot of ports. coming to Switch 1. So I mean, I think for some of these bigger games like this, they are going to have to work some magic. Developers are to get stuff kind of running well on the system and stuff like that in terms of resolution and frame rate and stuff like that. And even like I don't know, like I think off the bat I was just kind of hoping that hey, Nintendo's talking about how their games are going to be essentially 4K, up to 120 frames a second on TV mode and stuff like this, and even in handheld mode in some cases. But I don't know. It's Nintendo obviously makes their own hardware, so they know exactly how to optimize that stuff. Whereas third parties they have to worry about optimizing this type of stuff on all sorts of different platforms. So I can understand how that it's going to be a bit harder for them to do that type of stuff. But yeah.
Oh, big thanks to Nintendo of Korea for leaking all extra juicy information. They leaked that Rainbow Road is in Mario World. They accidentally leaked.
Who would have thought Mario Rainbow Road?
But like they leaked where it is on the map.
Okay.
Which we didn't know. It's like in the well, it's pretty obvious to be honest, in center bottom. They also leaked that Pauline is in Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Okay.
There was like a poster or like a key art that they accidentally leaked. It looks like a slightly younger version of Pauline.
Okay.
She's in the game. It's like, oops. So yeah, thanks to Nintendo of Korea for that. Somebody's getting fired.
So have a funny comment here from John in the chat. I think Mario Kart World should have a crazy taxi mode. I absolutely agree with you.
Let's make some crazy.
Let's get it on and have some fun. Axel. All right, let's get it on. There we go.
Nice. I think they should have a crazy taxidermy mode.
Can't wait.
One vibe I got from Mario Kart World is that I didn't get any non-Mario stuff whatsoever, unless they go like a full blowout tomorrow. Like not a hint of Splatoon, Animal Crossing, Zelda, which were in Mario Kart 8.
Right.
Not even like the people have analyzed all the footage. Like people in America have already played it. Like the public, they've done those public events.
Right.
The Japanese one is happening in
the end of this month, basically.
Did all those come in by DLC?
May, what's that, Ty?
Did all those come in by DLC in Mario
on the
Kart
Wii
8?
U? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, the Split Inklings were there on the Switch, from day one, right? And
okay.
And so the DLC on Switch was like Pauline, right? And like Funky Kong and I forget. they added like maybe 5 or 6 DLC characters on Switch. But yeah, the wild, the crazy thing is, they're having fewer mainline characters than the Wii U game, which is kind of weird. Like, because it's considering how Splatoon, Animal Crossing, they're two of the biggest games in Japan, and it's like to not have that. So I don't know, but who knows? They could be like, psych, we got Splatoon World inside Mario Kart World, it already looks, the world looks so fucking huge already. There's so many like stages, like I can't really see them adding like that extra stuff. And it's like,
DLC. Can't wait.
Yeah, maybe when it comes time to increase product awareness for the next Splatoon game, that's when we'll see it.
Yeah. $30 for one piece of DLC. You get one character and one cart. Let's go.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yeah. And also I was kind of right, when I said, when you're going from like stage to stage, like whoever's in first place, they kind of get slotted in. As you race to the next part, then you get put in first place. Then the next race starts. That is exactly how it works. How it's visually shown is that there's kind of like a rainbow kind of circular thing that you go through, and that's the kind of the start of the next stage. But people are complaining that the roads that connect the stages look really boring. They're just kind of like straights, like almost straights. It's like with a little bit of curves, and they have boost pads to kind of speed up the process. But they don't kind of end. It's you do some laps on a course, and then you race towards the next course, mostly in a straight line, and then you connect to the next course, and then 3, 2, 1, go. So and sometimes it looks like they weren't actually doing loops. Like, for example, in the second or third course, it was just a straight line. So it's like it felt like a lot of straight lines. Basically, some people who played it or analyzed the footage kind of were complaining about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, like you said, I mean, we'll find out a lot more here in about 24 hours. If you're watching the video version live, yeah, you have to wait too. If you're listening to the audio version, it's already done, and you already know. So we probably don't want to talk about it too much more. But
oh yeah, and we had a controversy which kind of blew up and then died. So like it kind of got put out. So Nintendo they set themselves on fire by saying, like, somebody, I don't know if it was NOA or someone at NOA or somebody said, like, all of the game data is not on the cartridges for the for like what Zelda,
for the upgrade packs.
For the upgrade packs, it's like, no, you only get the Switch 1 game on the cartridge, and then you have to download the rest. And people are motherfucker, and then next day somebody said, oh no, sorry, my bad, it's all on the game cartridge.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh okay. So they kind of blew away.
Yeah. So I think there's that, and
thank God. Jesus, that would have sucked. Yeah.
Yeah, with the expansion pack, if you are a Nintendo Switch expansion pack member, you will get the Breath of the Wild and the Tears of the Kingdom ones included with your subscription. But like any other stuff that's been announced so far, the stuff for Mario Party Jamboree, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, anything else I might be forgetting, that is not said to be included. So I would think, because first I thought, like, man, I'm just going to buy the Switch version of Metroid Prime 4 and then just get the upgrade pack for free with the expansion pack. Boom! Because I'm thinking, I want to play the Switch version and I want to play the Switch 2 version. I got it. I don't think it's going to be like that. You would probably have to pay.
Way you have to pay for the upgrade.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think it'd be cool just to play it on the OG Switch and then also pay for the upgrade to do it, because it'd probably be roughly the same price, I think. But who knows?
It'll probably work out exactly the same price.
It's here in Japan especially, but probably in the other countries too.
You remember, Danny, Japan is the land of 1 Coke for 100 yen or 6 Cokes for 600 yen.
Yeah. So,
brilliant.
Yeah. Anyways, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously we're getting closer. More and more stuff's going to come out. Maybe by the next time the next podcast is on, I'll know if I'm going to be able to get a Switch 2 at launch. James will know if he'll be able to get one at launch.
And maybe we'll know when Metroid Prime 4 will come out.
Yeah. We'll see.
2025.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, other things. Just one other thing I want to mention too. I find it weird that they haven't said anything about Super Mario Brothers Wonder in relation to the Switch, because like one of the first images they showed of, you could play Switch 1 games on the Switch 2. It was a Super Mario Wonder screenshot, like on the package. I would venture to bet that's probably going to be one of the upgrade things, kind of like similar to Kirby and Mario Party Jamboree. I mean, the game came out in 2023. So
how could you upgrade that though? It's already
add some levels. Well, yeah, add some levels. Put it up into 4K, 120 frames per second. Boom, like that's it. So it'd be cool. I'd go back and play from it. That's a fun game.
Yeah, exactly. Odyssey's getting a little patch as well, isn't it? Free patch.
Some games getting free ones. I don't think they'd want to give a free one out for their current marquee Mario game. So, but
cool.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's gonna do it for the JAPANews. James, you gotta head out, bud.
Yes, I do. But enjoy Anime Trash and enjoy the direct. Oh well, for you guys, enjoy the direct tomorrow.
Right.
For the guys listening, I hope you enjoyed the direct.
Right. Alrighty.
All right, guys. See you on the
next. Thanks, James. Also,
Peace,
one
brother.
thing I just wanted to.
Gosh, that's wrong. Anyone else?
There's no way to put that in there. Anyway.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you that.
There it is. And for the video viewers, right now we're going to move on to a little bit of Anime Trash with Ty. For audio viewers, we're going to go ahead and move on to close out the show. Ty.
All right, sick. All right, I'm back in business.
Back.
I got my first batch of fresh anime trash delivered to my new apartment.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, man. At least has it? Jeez, it's been over a month for sure. Maybe almost 2.
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Don't forget
trying
this
to-
started as like a goofy temporary interim segment, but
Yeah.
then I just kept winning,
Yeah.
and people kept enjoying it, I guess. So
Yeah.
get ready for some choice garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, where's this one even from? It's like an unlabeled mystery box. I think this was from Capcom.
Okay.
Who knows? I tore off the address, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay. You've been getting back to the swing of things though with everything with the UFO catchers, I'm assuming.
A little bit, yeah. There were a couple of things I didn't want to pass up,
Sure.
but yeah, I've also been playing more conservatively. So, just moved, haven't hardly unpacked anything.
Hopefully
Alright.
you can at least get your clothes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Like we got 2 items. Oh, you can always see what they are already.
Already, yeah.
Sneeze.
Bless you. It's
I
allergy
did.
season.
True. I did kind of ham that one up for the listeners, though.
There it is.
All right. Let's see. Yes, that's right. We got the new Nikkei figures. All right. This is Viper.
Okay.
Yep. She's got little devil horns.
Hmm.
She's I don't know. She's like a criminal cell phone enthusiast.
Okay.
That's her thing. And next we have, oh God, what's her name? Nero. Nero, like the Roman emperor, maybe. I don't know. She's a cat girl.
They're actually twins.
Yeah. Yep. Cat girl, just dumb as shit.
All right.
Yep.
Is she a cat girl in the game too, or?
Yeah. It in the sense she's also like the ultimate military cyborg killing machine that all the other Nikkeis are. But yeah, she does have cat ears. She acts like a dumb cat.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
she has her fans. I mean, she's all right, I guess.
I'm not here to kink shame or shame, generally speaking, either.
Oh man, you can kink shame when the fucking feet girl comes out as a figure.
Okay.
Just go nuts.
If and when that happens, I'm your guy.
Yep. Cool. Oh yeah. At a 7-Eleven recently, I picked up some Nikkei wafers. They come with like a holographic trading card.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, like there's a lot of different things you can get with that. I mean, even Nintendo stuff, Kirby, Splatoon, Mario, and Nikkei.
Yeah, so I bought a few just to see who I got, and I got the feet girl. The girl with feet, that's her whole gimmick. Oh dang. All right. Back to another time-honored favorite of anime trash. I got, my waifu Albedo.
Oh, okay.
The demon girl from Overlord, and this time she's a hot teacher for some reason.
There it is.
Yep, there it is. For some reason.
Is that chalk that she's carrying, or is it a magic wand?
It's like a pointer.
Or a pointer. There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm too poor. I just point to the chalkboard with my finger.
Right. I just like vaguely gesture at it with my whole arm.
Over there.
Like, whatever. But now I got a highly unique figure. Oh dang, it's super heavy too.
All right.
Check it out. It's the skull guy.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's the main character. It's Ainz.
Okay. Is he like? Okay, I see.
Yeah. I just wanted him because, like, he's a cool fucking skeleton. This is like an elaborate, fancy figure.
With that and the one that you had previously, are they posable or more kind of like statues or?
I don't think this is posable at all. I think it's just like a static statue, and let me tell you, this is heavy as shit.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah,
what
this
it's
is
made
one
out
of. I mean, it's probably like solid PVC plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All right, so
Okay.
yeah, this is cool. Yeah,
Oh.
Ein's all gold.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Yeah. I mean, something besides waifu bullshit for once is always nice.
Right?
All
Right.
right.
No chattering teeth either. So
I've got you now, Mr. Rattlebones. All right, hold on. The next one's outside of arm's reach.
okay.
Okay, what is this? Oh, it's from Molly Online.
All right.
It's drugs.
Has to be. You're wearing the drug shirt.
Cat drugs. Perhaps these were the cat drugs all along.
Could have been.
All right, let's see. What do we have here? Oh my god, it's her.
Oh.
All right. A lot of bubble wrap here.
Is it a quintuplet?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a Haruhi character.
A what character?
You know, Haruhi.
Oh, Haruhi. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, you said Halloween. I was like, okay.
No.
Okay.
No, it's a bunny girl.
Okay.
But this one actually appeared as a bunny girl in the original anime.
Okay. Okay.
Go to Discord as I'm preparing to do, and find the GIF.
Okay.
All right. In fact, I am going to our Discord. Join today.
Yes.
It's great, and I'm about to post the GIF. Haruhi bunny gun. Yes. Is it?
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. So rapidly aging anime fans will know the exact scene I'm talking about. The one where this character is in this bunny girl outfit, wildly firing an AK-47. It's an anime masterpiece.
Nice.
All right. So that concludes my anime trash. We've got a lot of classic favorites on deck.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm glad I could get the Ein's figure.
Yeah, no,
big ass skull wizard. It's metal as fuck. Just baller as shit.
He's a cool character.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mr. Bones Wild Ride.
I don't remember if I actually seen any of that anime on TV or not, because I could have swore I saw him before. Maybe it was just you showing me something about.
Yeah, maybe when I was showing you the game, like I was showing you the box art and asking you which one is the protagonist.
That's why I've seen that. Okay, never mind. That makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah,
okay.
I should pick that game up where I left off.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that great, but it's a game.
It's like Obi-Wan on the original Xbox. That is not a good game, but I liked it.
We have Castlevania at home.
Right. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, like Ty said, that is going to do it for the anime trash. And that's actually going to do it for the show. If you guys want to follow us on social media, you can, well, if you can follow Famicast on both Twitter and Bluesky, we're at the Famicast. You can also, if you have an email for us or anything like that, you can send us an email, thefamicast@gmail.com. Sign up on social media, sign up on YouTube comments, chat. Also, love you guys. Thanks for participating today. It's always fun. But for our individual things, I'll sound off for James here. If you want to follow him on Bluesky, you can. He's Fami Complicated, Fami Complicated. Ty, where can the folks find you on social media?
Super Cat Drugs on platforms. You can also follow me on Blah Blah Link, the official Nikkei social media platform.
Right.
What was my recent username on? I think it was Yulha's Chew Toy.
Are they just can you just change the usernames at will or something?
Yeah, it's just like a display name. Like, I don't know how you actually look for my ID. Like my in-game name is Scrub Kuo, for some
Okay.
reason.
Okay.
So maybe if you search that, maybe you can find it.
Okay. Yeah.
Good luck. But
yeah,
join the Discord.
Yeah, no, seriously. If you should join the Discord, like there are definitely more active Discords out there, but I think the Famicast Discord is just about as active as I could handle. I think it's, you know, kind of slow going and stuff like that, but there are some times we maybe heat up a little bit. But if you want to find that, I mean, it's on, we have it up on the website. If you go to the famicast.com, if you go to the about section, you can actually find it linked up in there. So that's one way that you can get a hold of us too, which would be great. But if you want to follow me on social media, you can. You can find me at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV. But yeah, that's going to do it for the show. Ty, as always, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. I know kind of just getting back into the swing of things, just kind of, you know, getting situated from the move and like all that stuff, the job, all that type of crap. But
yeah.
But
it's been a real spaghetti mess.
Yeah, I know how that shit goes. So, alrighty. Well, that is going to do it for the show. We will catch you guys. Oh, yeah. We're not going to be coming up in 2 weeks. We're going to take a little bit of a break for Golden Week, but we will be back on Wednesday, May 7th. Again, that's Wednesday, May 7th. Keep it locked. We'll be there. Till then, yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Toodles.